Hi, everybody. Before we start the show, we wanted to take a minute to introduce ourselves. We're the marriage service technicians. You might be wondering, what exactly is a marriage service technician?
Our organization equips relationships with tools to go the distance. We draw analogies between repairing and upkeeping cars and restoring and maintaining relationships. Now, our passion for marriages and families was birthed out of the struggles we faced in our early years together. And when we say struggle, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Over the years, we grew, matured, and picked up some valuable tools along the way. And we were so glad when we finally turned the corner, pun intended, that we began sharing those tools with others.
In 2008, we presented our first workshop to a full house of participants. It was truly a full house. Our guests were literally packed wall to wall in our living room. From that small beginning, the marriage service technicians have evolved to who we are today.
They say that necessity is the mother of invention. We were planning to produce our shows in the spacious, high-tech Philly Cam studio. But the coronavirus spoiled those plans, at least for the time being. Well, we were determined that the pandemic would not have the last say about the matter. And we decided to produce our first show in the same location as our first workshop, our Willingboro, New Jersey home.
Ironically, the very thing that threatened to hold us back is today's topic. Social distancing and stay-at-home orders have affected the regular format of our show. Future episodes will feature expert panelists as well as everyday people who face challenges just like we do. But today, our guests share our DNA. Yes, they're our children and grandchildren. So, enjoy the show and don't touch that dial. Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Cliff, and this is my beautiful wife, Andrea, and we're the marriage service technicians. Welcome to the very first episode of the REAL-lationship Toolbox, COVID-19 Special Edition.
We're living in unprecedented times. The latest number as of today's taping is 186,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S. alone, and more than 3,600 deaths. The social distancing guidelines have just been extended until at least April 30th, and our region remains under the stay-at-home order. Each and every one of us has been impacted in one way or another, including our family. So for this show, what we decided to do is introduce you to our family members, our 4 children, and their families, and just share the ways that coronavirus has changed the way we live.
Let me tell you a little bit about us. We'll be married 29 years in June, and we're a blended family with 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. We'll let our children speak for themselves.
How has COVID-19 affected your job and finances?
So, the situation affected my job because initially, in the beginning, I started working from home, and then after working from home for a few days, then my hours were cut, and after my hours were cut, a few days later, me and one of my other co-workers were let go temporarily because, they couldn't afford to keep us on at the moment because business wasn't prevalent.
So my first job, full-time teacher, but now I'm part-time because our school hours change, and effective April 1st, we can only have parents who are essential workers, only their kids are allowed to be in the school now. And then I'm also a business owner, and since this has been going on, I haven't really been doing anything with my business as far as doing freelance. So that extra income that I had coming in is now nothing.
Well, it's affected us in different ways, and from my end, it really hasn't had too much of an effect on me. I'm still just normally working my regular hours. However, my wife, there has been some slight changes.
My first job they cut their hours. Well, they canceled the job, so we're not going to open back until like April, maybe May. So I'm working my second job, so I'm still keeping a steady income along with working, so we still can, keep up with the upkeep of the house.
It has affected me extremely. It has affected my time extremely. I went from working 8-hour days to now 13 to 16-hour days. I'm at work from 4:30 in the morning until sometimes 7 o'clock at night. So financially, it's a plus for me. I was offered a raise because I am an essential healthcare worker that provides a life-sustaining service. So financially, it has been good for me. I don't have any complaints financially.
It affected my job. I've been temporarily laid off, and until COVID-19 dies down, I'm pretty sure they'll call me back to start working.
How has your daily schedule been impacted?
Well, our schedule has changed because, usually in the morning, I will get up. Well, me and Brian will get up, get the kids ready for school, and then after they go to school, he would drop me off at work, and then he would go to work. But now, since there's no school, and I'm not going to work because my job is canceled, so now the kids are home, and we're playing inside because we can't go outside, and we just do what we can inside now.
What type of adjustments have you had to make in your school routine?
I get less work than usual, at least. We do have these projects where due at the end of the week, and they give you enough time to sleep, catch up on sleep and other work. So I think that's the one good thing about the stay at home from COVID-19 pandemic. But I don't like how I guess when I need help, I can't really ask anyone to help me. I can't ask my teacher. When I do have to email her, that's gonna take some time. That's just stressful. So yeah.
I was already taking one online class, so now I'm taking all my classes online, and it's kind of hard. Really hard.
What's hard about it?
All the work is piled up, and it's hard to keep up.
I can do online classes, but I'm more comfortable being in a classroom setting because it holds me more accountable. So I actually had to cut school out because it's shut down, number one. Number two, they provide online services, but because my work schedule is so intense now, I have not had the time to even get the information on how to log on, what work needs to be done. So I've kind of just been studying to try to keep myself in the loop. But even still, the motivation in that is kind of diminished because I'm tired from working all day.
The school routines have changed drastically, whereas I'm no longer taking my wife to her school or her place, her school, and the boys to their school. They're now staying home during the day, and then I go straight to work. But we try to make sure that we keep activities, educational activities for them available so they can keep a sharp mind.
What type of activities do you do?
We have activity books for them where they practice their math or phonics, and even just as arts and crafts, they draw us pictures or.
They have PBS Kids.
Yes, PBS Kids, and then there's websites.
Go Noodle and stuff like that.
That they go to and practice their math and things.
What other sorts of things are you doing differently than you did before?
Well, for the most part, I'm doing most of the same things, except now being laid off, I have more time to work on personal things like my book. So that's what I've been doing mostly every day, is focusing on my writings.
For one thing, I'm sleeping more, which is a plus because I like to sleep. But the gyms being closed, I was going to the gym every day, and now I don't have that. So I've been being creative. At my school, I'll do exercises with the kids while I'm outside. I'll go to the track sometimes with one of my friends. And me and my mom went in on an elliptical, so actually that's a plus for the whole family because the whole family will be able to use that.
I'm not going out as much with my friends and stuff. Stuck in the house with my brothers. Yeah.
Because my schedule has been a little more vigorous now, I had to get creative. Since the kids are home, I had to get creative in making sure that they have enough time in getting their work done, while also making sure that the house still functions properly as far as when they're eating, when they're cleaning, to help me, because I'm tired when I come home from work. I can barely function, and even when the baby is here, it's a lot. Right now we have a little break, but when he's here, it's like I need to rely on them more. So I have to delegate certain tasks to certain individuals in the household to make sure that the house does not go awry.
Do you have any health concerns surrounding COVID-19?
Well, being as though the COVID is around, we use the disinfectant wipes.
We have face masks for when we are traveling outside.
And we use gloves where we go places so we don't touch everything and possibly bring back the virus back to the family.
My eating diet has changed, a big change, because I used to only eat lunch, but I only eat a little, but I do eat dinner, but I never ate breakfast or whatever. I always skip that. But now I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. So yeah.
Yes, I have health concerns as far as, first, myself, because I am the head of the household. I also have asthma, and because I am open, I'm on the front line, and I'm open to so much. Even before the COVID-19 virus was so prominent, I was still open to a lot of things as far as HIV, hepatitis B, and just different coming in contact with different patients. So now that COVID has actually came in, that's another awareness for me. I was always aware, and I was always practicing proper cleanliness and using my PPE at work, but because I have asthma, I want to be sure I'm taking better care of myself as far as my rest, my eating habits, because with me working so much, sometimes I forget to eat. So am I snacking properly? Am I drinking enough water? Then, and what am I bringing home to my family, to my children? Am I careful? You understand? So now I'm watching them to make sure that they are eating properly. Are you taking vitamins? Are you washing your hands? Or so that so I'm telling my children to make sure that they are, because they have allergies. I have two of my children who suffer from allergies, which allergies can then turn into something else. So anytime there's any opening for bacteria anywhere, I am very concerned.
In what ways has the pandemic changed how you interact with others?
I get to sleep more, but like I don't really see my friends as much as I usually do in school. So like we don't really interact with each other. Like we do have those FaceTime things, but like only once a week.
So I interact with people differently where before, when it was more so interpersonal, like meeting people in person, and as well as over like social media or like texting and everything. Now it's all virtual and over texting and video chat and everything. So obviously I'm not making physical contact with people because that's prohibitive, but not everything is virtual.
So how do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel fine about it. I like being home anyway, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Are you experiencing cabin fever?
It's really hard just staying inside. Like that would usually be someone's like dream. Like they would just like don't want to go out and just sleep all day. But like I'm a really active person. Like I just can't stay in this house like for so long. That's why I sometimes go outside and just run or just do little things like go to the store or go to the park. But like thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's just really like mentally affecting me. Like I'm just more stressed because of it. Like because my mom won't let me go outside like I usually do. So like that's just really painful.
Yes. The children love to be outside. They love to ride their bike. They like to go to the malls. They like to go to the playground. And now, since the COVID is out there, we can't go to the malls and all these places and go ride the bikes and stuff. So we have to find stuff to do inside, and it's really driving them crazy.
What are you most looking forward to after the restrictions end?
When this is all over, I look forward to hanging out with friends, and I don't look forward to like having 7-hour work days and not being able to have as much personal time during the day to work on things that I want to work on, like my book.
Going back to the gym is my main priority. And then also going back into shooting because I do miss photo shoots and doing stuff like that.
After this pandemic's over, I look forward to going back to my usual routine, go outside, jogging, or sports, and I might try to look for a job because I doubt they're hiring during this pandemic, and just catch up with my friends and other stuff. Yeah, pretty much just little things that have been taken away from me.
Well, when all of this is over, I look forward to going outside, riding the bikes, going to the museums, riding on airplanes, going on the buses.
Going to the local malls because we always have something planned for our weekend, so we just like to travel, be it just here in Philadelphia or just making longer trip plans.
Yeah, I just want to go outside and just don't have to worry about getting sick.
In the future, when this is over, I want to continue exercising every day because before I was doing it more intermittently, but now I want to continue doing it every day.
Fortunately, I work in IT and I'm able to work from home, so my job is still intact, but my workload has definitely increased. On another note, I started a new exercise routine, which I should have been doing all along, and I get to spend more time with family.
I'll give 2 notes about how coronavirus is affecting my life. First, I'm an entrepreneur. So several of my contracts have been placed on pause, and my income is down by about 75%. But on the brighter side, I used the time that I had to really sit down and plan out our pilot for our show. So that's a positive. Thank you for joining us for the Real-lationship Toolbox COVID-19 Special Edition. I'm Andrea Riley.
And I'm Cliff Riley.
And we're the Marriage Service Technicians,
equipping relationships with tools to go the distance.
Until next time. So Shay, what do you have to tell the world now that all this has happened?
I just want the world to know those special people out there that have a calling on their life for cleanliness. I just want the world to not take them for granted. It might seem funny, it might seem like they're crazy or they're mentally ill because they're overly cautious about cleanliness. I am one of the ones. I'm not as erratic, but I feel like this is my time to shine. I feel vindicated. I feel like, I told you. Now you see how serious it is. You don't have to go overboard. I get it. But when you come home from work, from the outside world, you don't know what you're bringing into your house. You don't know what you're bringing from your house to outside in the world either. But you definitely, I've been scrutinized. I've been made fun of. People joke, oh, she's got OCD. And I want people to know the difference between OCD and germophobia is totally different. It is a form of OCD, but it's totally different. And it really kind of gets under my skin a little bit because people think it is a joke, and it's not. Because now you understand. Now people can understand how people like me, or even a little bit more erratic than I am, how they feel. You understand? Like, it is very important to wash your hands. Take your shoes off from outside. It is important to take showers because you come in contact with people on a daily basis. This is serious. So even if COVID wasn't, and honestly, I think COVID-19 wouldn't even been as prominent if people were practicing proper hygiene and proper cleanliness as far as in general in population. It wouldn't even, and the importance of obedience. When the government said to stop, you gotta, when they try to get a handle on things, and they couldn't because people just take it, oh, it's okay, it's not going to affect. No. Stop. Think about what you're doing. People don't think about what they're doing when you touch something and then you go touch your face. That's so nasty. When people put in their cell phones up to their face, how often do you really wipe your cell phone down with alcohol prep or a wipe? People don't think about that stuff, and people use cell phones every day, all day. These are the things that I took into consideration beforehand, and people looked at me like, oh, she's something wrong with her. She crazy. She just no. And I'm one to tell you it's real, and you should definitely be more careful now, more careful. So I'm not happy with COVID-19. I'm not happy about the situation that's going on, but I'm happy that it's making people more aware. And when you're more aware, you want to know, and then you'll ask questions more instead of assuming that you know. You'll be more educated. You want to become more educated.
So can you give us your following, like when you called me on the phone?
Oh yes.
To tell about. So can we have that version? It's your big chance.
I had to be the first because I was always taught a quarter cup of bleach, and I wash my dishes. Yes, I do. A quarter cup of bleach, sometimes a half a cup if the dishes were sitting too long and to break up stuff. So I was the first one. I had to call my parents, and I had to let them know. Yeah, I might have messed up some clothes. I might have had some spots here and there. But at the end of the day, stuff was clean, it was sterilized, and ain't nobody get sick.
Ain't nobody get sick from a little bit of bleach. So I called my parents to let them know. Where y'all gonna get y'all bleach from now? Don't come over here. I got a ton. I got a supply. I already had a supply. So when people was in the stores going clearing off the shelves, I was like, that's a shame. But then I did need food though. I was like, dang, how I got more cleaning products than food. So I guess I do need a balance. And then it's nothing wrong with having a balance. But I knew. And I always knew. So I love my parents. And I'm going to be there for them. Because when they need some cleaning products, disinfectant, Lysol, bleach, I already had it.
Cut.
I'm so serious.
Okay. Identify yourself.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Camera roll. What? What is she? Cut. I know. He gonna wait to click. He ain't clicked the whole time. Now all of a sudden.
Hey, I'm sorry. All right.
No, that's something, Eric. Jeez, you ain't ready for fame and fortune. You ain't ready for.
The company that I work for deemed me essential because we ship goods.
Cut.
I'm working because my job is essential and I ship goods, so. Come on now.
Still working because both of our employers have been deemed essential.
Cut.
The shipment of safety products.
I'm sorry. She said, because he didn't do this before. Did you just make the shoe go well? Let's just be able to flow right through it. Continuing habits. Oops. Take one.
Either I work out at my school or while the kids are outside. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Well, you made it seem like it was like it was bad.
No.
I was running.
I was kidding. Line at first. Now you gonna try to take it. No, that's okay. You can do it.
No.
Are you gonna do it funny?
Yeah, I was gonna do it funny.
If you do it funny, don't do it corny. Do it funny, like I was gonna do it.
You do it, honey.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Couple of pointers about how cut.
No.
No. What should I say? I'm an entrepreneur. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Give me go on. All right, I praise God for that. No, I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said 2, and I started off with an extra one. Like I can't count to 2. That's gonna make 3. No.
That's so lucky.
My eyes on the clipboard.
Brian's introduction, take 3.
Thank you, eternity. Okay, anybody else got a burp? Get all the burping.
Fortunately,
Cut.
all along.
Cut. That, why you look at me?
No, that was horrible. I'm sorry. That was horrible. Oh, that was upspeak the whole way. You sound like you were reading, and you're not even reading. You sound more like you was reading than when you were reading. All right, let me type it. You did good when it was typed up. You did real good when it was typed up. I'll type it for you.